Hello, welcome to Coronavirus Update by Heerak Show for April 27th, 2020. Today we are going to have a special episode celebrating the class of 2020 because we know that a lot of colleges are starting their graduation starting late April and into May and into June. So this is the time to celebrate the class of 2020. So we have an exciting show for you today. And the picture there is of Georgetown University during a graduation ceremony. Thousands of people gathered to celebrate the joyful and momentous occasion. Students having worked hard to achieve. But before we get to the celebration, let's cover the information that we generally cover every day, and that is death within the last 24 hours from COVID-19. So in the last 24 hours, we had 1,399 deaths. So it seems like number of deaths are just a little bit over 1,000 2 days in a row, which is kind of promising. So some of you may be thinking, maybe we could actually have a graduation ceremony in June or late May, but wishful thinking, but it seems like none of the colleges are really actually considering doing that. Hopefully, the number of COVID-19 deaths will decrease, but we don't know yet. I mean, this could be just a couple of days in a row, and then it could jump back up to 3,000 or 4,000. We just don't know. So come back tomorrow to check daily death rate for COVID tomorrow. Subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you know what you need to know to survive and thrive during the COVID-19 crisis. So in 24 hours, we had 1,399 deaths. So yesterday's total for the United States was 54,856, and 24 hours later, we have 56,255. So that's the total number of deaths. So that's a lot. We have confirmed cases, and that is yesterday we had 965,426 confirmed cases. It went up, a little bit over 20,000 to 988,189. So that's fairly constant. It's been around 30,000-ish, a little bit below, a little bit above. I thought today may be good to kind of go back and look at the states, but this time we're going to look at the deaths. So we're going to rank the states by deaths and see which states have the most deaths and what states are kind of coming up in that score. As everybody knows, New York has the greatest number of deaths. Its total death tally right now is at 22,668 deaths. New Jersey is number 2 at 6,044. So the rate is continuing to rise. Michigan is 3rd at 3,407. It's interesting because Michigan is saying that they're going to open up their car factories. So we'll see what happens. Massachusetts is at 3,003 at rank number 4. Connecticut, which is kind of a surprise, is ranked number 5 at 2,012. Right now, the top 5 are kind of occupied by mid-Atlantic states, New York and New Jersey in rank 1 and rank 2. And then New England states at rank 4 and rank 5. Which is kind of interesting because East Coast seems to be getting hit really hard, which is kind of interesting. There must be some kind of a sociological analysis there. Maybe some of you who are sociologists can conduct a study of why is it that East Coast has the largest number of deaths. There must be some kind of sociological phenomena that is making that happen. Yeah, so we have the California flag up there. We don't see California anywhere in the top 5, which is kind of interesting because California is one of the biggest states in America. So you would think that they would be in top 5, but they're not. And as we saw yesterday, a lot of Californians are having a lot of fun. You know, like 60,000 in the beach, I've heard. Yeah, you could see yesterday's episode. You know, if you get a time, you know, just watch all of my episodes. And you'll enjoy every single one of them, and you'll learn a lot about COVID-19 and how you can survive and thrive during this COVID-19 era. So we go back to our celebration of class of 2020. In a way, because you know you see Georgetown University graduation there again. As you know, I'm class of 2020 at Georgetown University. I'm finishing my master's degree at the School of Nursing and Health Studies, and my program is called Clinical Nurse Leader. So we have a cohort of about 26 graduating in 2020. And cohort is like people who come in together and they go through the 2 years together and graduate together. And Clinical Nurse Leader program at Georgetown University is full-time, basically 365 days a year. So you have fall semester, spring semester, summer semester, fall semester, spring semester, summer semester. So we actually started in the summer. So it was like summer, fall, spring, summer, summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer. So it's a little bit more than 2 years full time. But yeah, so so our first summer class, even before the fall semester, was like preparation for pathophysiology class, which many nursing students dread. But yeah, so cohort of 26, there are 3 guys in our program and 23 girls. And so 26 of us are graduating in 2020. And we had this elaborate, wonderful ceremony planned for May, several ceremonies, in fact, and all of those got canceled. So can you imagine the disappointment? You know, I was like, my mom was excited, my father was excited, my sisters were gonna come, my brother-in-law was gonna come, and we're gonna have a big celebration. I was gonna invite my cousins in New York and Baltimore to come, and it was going to be a great graduation ceremony, celebrating my graduation from Georgetown University, along with all my cohort members. Hi, cohort members. Hi, cohort members. You know, all of us are, you know, are quite close because, you know, we've been in the same program for 2 years. It's like family right now, you know. Today, we had a Zoom meeting with our cohort 2020 members to talk about graduation. So all of us are kind of upset that, you know, and what's going on. So we're trying to make the best of it and trying to see if we could have a actual, you know, salvage this situation. But hopefully things, you know, we could salvage some of it. But yeah, so a lot of us are hurting. We're crying inside, although we're laughing outside about our graduation. It was going to be a magnificent graduation. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So you know, and it's not just Georgetown University. It's you know, every university in America. Everybody is in the same shoes. All the class of 2020 right now, they were all looking forward to the graduation, like in Washington, D.C. area where Georgetown University is. George Washington University students were looking forward to graduation. American University students were looking forward to graduation. Catholic University of America students were looking forward to graduation. Howard University students were looking forward to graduation. This is just in Washington, D.C. You have University of Maryland, just close by, looking forward to graduation. You have George Mason University in Northern Virginia, looking forward to graduation. And this is all throughout the country. All the members of the class of 2020 were looking forward to graduation. After hard work and hard study, we're all looking forward to graduation. And you know what I mean. All of you are looking forward to graduation, and all of you are bumming right now. All of you throughout the 50 states and all the US territories, you guys are all very disappointed because graduation ceremony, it's a great festive event, with all your family and friends gather, celebrating with your classmates, and there are parties and fine hall, like balls and picnics. And at Georgetown University, because it's a Catholic university, we have a nice baccalaureate service with the Jesuit priests leading it. We're a Jesuit university. Yeah, so we were looking forward to a lot of wonderful things happening. Look at the picture there. Look how nice it is with thousands of people gathered. And that's Healy Hall, which is our main hall at Georgetown University. And if you look at the third floor, right at the top is Gaston Hall. That's where I scheduled for a debate for Virginia 8th District U.S. Congressional debate, but that got canceled because of COVID-19, and Georgetown University shut the campus down in March. And so I had this wonderful debate prepared, so all of us running for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District could debate. But yeah, so that had to be canceled. But that's on that third floor, at the top floor, near the ceiling there. That's where the Gaston Hall is. It's the best looking hall. If you Google Gaston Hall, Gaston Hall, you'll see how beautiful it is. And that's where we're going to have our debate. And it was going to be sponsored by Georgetown Collaborative Diplomacy Initiative, which is a School of Foreign Service group. And I'm the president of that. And that was all scheduled, room was all reserved, and it had to be canceled. So I'm quite disappointed because, as you know, I'm running for U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District as an independent candidate. So don't forget to vote for me on November 3rd, 2020. For general election, I'm running against current U.S. Representative Don Beyer, who is of the Democratic Party. I'm independent. And you can visit my website there, www.heerakforcongress.com. And you could see my election platform and my history and who I am. You can learn more about me through that website. Yeah, so we had that U.S. Congress in Virginia's 8th District debate plan, that the best place in Georgetown, which is Gaston Hall. But we had to cancel that. So, and now the graduation is canceled. So all of us are disappointed, and my cohort members, I feel for you. I want to give all of you a hug just because all of us are kind of feeling it, right? But anyway, I send you a remote virtual hug to all of my CNL 2020 cohort members. Oh, I love you guys. And so, but anyway, right now we are here in 2020 America with all the graduation ceremonies canceled, and all of us are, disappointed. And some of us are thinking like, is this for real? Let's pinch myself. Is this for real? Yes, it is. And Harry the Owl says it is. See? Yeah. So it's a sad time for those of us who are graduating. But it doesn't seem like this year is the only year where people may be disappointed. And I bring your attention to the two articles that I have up there. It seems like, Harvard University School of Public Health is right. They say we probably have to social distance until year 2020. So who knows, we may not be able to have graduation for class of 2021. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen. And experts around the world are saying we may not be able to develop vaccine in the next 18 months, and we will not have a cure, and this thing can continue forever. And WHO, World Health Organization, said even if you had COVID-19 once, you could probably get it again. We just don't know. Scientists and experts do not know really what this COVID-19 is. And they're still trying to learn about it, and it probably take 10 years to discover it. Just watch my previous episodes, this COVID-19 update by Heerak, and you'll learn more about it. Yeah, watch all the reruns. What else do you have to do, right? You're at home. Learn about COVID so you could survive and thrive during COVID-19 era. So let's go to the first article. Harvard will be open for fall 2020, provost writes, ruling out delay until spring. So Harvard was considering closing in the fall, completely closing, not opening at all. And some universities are still considering that because all the experts are saying the second wave are going to come in fall and it's going to be worse. Most of them are saying it's going to be worse and kill more people in the fall. And who wants to go through like going to campus, moving all your stuff, and then you have to evacuate everything, go back home again? How many students want to do that again, right? Those who went through it this spring. And some online classes did not go so well. So some colleges said, we're just going to close for the fall semester and not even have online learning. So some colleges are considering that. Harvard University is considering that as well. And at least right now, the provost is like the second person in command. You have the president of the university, and provost is the top academic officer. So he's considered top academic officer, but kind of below the president. So look at the quote there. This was in an article in the Harvard Crimson written by Michelle G. Kurilla. Today it came out. And the quote from that article is, a range of scenarios has been and will continue to be evaluated for the fall, from fully restored on-campus activities, a normal return to campus, to delaying the opening of the university until next spring semester, Carver wrote. So Harvard University still has not ruled out completely canceling fall semester 2020 for the whole semester and possibly opening in spring semester. So they haven't ruled that out. But right now, as of today, April 27, 2020, the provost of Harvard University is saying, we will open, we just don't know what that's going to be. And if you read the article, one possibility is for people to wear their masks, social distance, have a quarantine zone and isolation zone. How is that going to look? I mean, what are you going to do? Like contact trace among the students? You know how close the dormitories are? I mean, like, yeah, it's like meningitis, and meningitis is not even 1/10, 1/100th as infectious as this. And it just, do you remember the meningitis scare in Princeton University dormitories? Yeah, so I don't know what Harvard provost is saying, but maybe he's just, or she, what the provost is saying, but, yeah. This is highly infectious. I mean, wearing a mask will prevent the spread of COVID. I don't know. I think the provost at Harvard is just trying to be, beat about it. And students have to commit to a college by May 1st, and it's April 27th. And I think the provost just wants people to commit to Harvard, and put down their deposit because every university has to have tuition and fees paid, and I mean, ideally, I guess colleges want to open because they collect money on dormitory and dining services, I mean, how else do colleges make money, right? Tuition, dormitory, I mean, they're there. If it's empty, they're not going to make money. So ideally, colleges will open and have students come into the dormitories, right? So they'll pay for the dormitory, they'll pay for the dining food, so colleges can make some money. Um, but but Harvard was saying, and there are several other newspapers and TV covering this that were saying that Harvard is considering just going 100% online in the fall. But one option is to actually open. But I'm just thinking, how feasible is that? If COVID-19 is going to be there, I mean, having a quarantine building at Harvard, I mean, how are you going to contact trace college students? 17, 18, 19 year old just out of high school, they're there, how are you going to contact trace every single one? I mean, and sometimes COVID doesn't even show symptoms when they're contagious. How are you going to contact trace? I mean, it's like a nightmare waiting to happen. So I think, the provost is trying to get people to commit to Harvard, and I'm sure every college is trying to get everybody to commit to their college. So they're trying to, send out an advertisement or some kind of a enticement to get people to commit. But realistically, I mean, Harvard may go online for the fall. I don't think Harvard will open, unless this COVID-19 disappears completely. I don't see Harvard opening. And even Garber said we'll continue to evaluate, right? Potentially closing the whole fall semester. So that's an option. And a lot of colleges are still considering that. So we'll see. I mean, it's April, it's May, and Harvard class of 2020, they don't have a graduation, just like Georgetown class of 2020. So still about 4 months away till the fall semester. Yeah, I mean, you saw the death figures in Massachusetts. It's in top 5. I mean, I doubt Harvard will open unless they find a vaccine or cure, which is probably not going to happen according to the experts. Probably Harvard will not be having students on campus. Death rate is continuing to rise in Massachusetts. It's a top 5 state. Connecticut is a top 5 state. Yale probably will not open either. I mean, Columbia is New York, NYU is in New York. You could bet that they're not going to open. So, I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, let's be honest and realistic. I know, if you're like a high school student, high school senior, you're probably watching this show because a lot of people are watching this show. You're probably hopeful starting your freshman year at Harvard, if you're accepted, or at Columbia or NYU or Yale, these top 5 states, top 5 COVID death states. But it's probably not going to happen. Sorry, but somebody has to talk about reality. We can't just talk about fiction here. We're not living in the Harry Potter world. We're not living in the Harry Potter world. We're living in reality here. Amy and Bobby understand that we are living in a real world. Yeah. So as excited as you may be that you got accepted to Harvard, I remember when I got my acceptance letter to University of Pennsylvania, I was exhilarating. The envelope was thick. And you were accepted because the envelope was thick, because they sent out thin envelopes to people who got rejected, and University of Pennsylvania said, welcome, and I was like, yay. So those of you who got accepted to Harvard, you probably got an announcement through email, right? I interviewed over 20 students, high school students this year for University of Pennsylvania for undergraduate Office of Admissions. And I submitted my report, accepted, rejected, waitlisted. They don't always listen, obviously, but yeah, I always enjoy interviewing, students who apply to University of Pennsylvania. And I do that every year. I've been doing that for over 10 years. I interview a lot of smart, smart students this year. Hello to all the students that I have interviewed. Yeah, so congratulations to those who got in, and welcome to the Penn family. Hopefully you commit to University of Pennsylvania. But, Pennsylvania is like within top 10. So I don't know if University of Pennsylvania will open either. I mean, I'm not saying this in official capacity, so don't quote me. But, you know, um, in my show, COVID-19 by Heerak, I have to put you in a real world. I have to kind of orient you to reality. And the reality is it doesn't, you know, all the experts are saying there's going to be a second wave in the fall. They don't know how early it's going to come, but it's going to be there in the fall. So I don't think any college, especially in top 10 COVID death state colleges will take the risk of opening up their college to close it again. I mean, can you imagine the hassle and the disruption with that? So I don't know. I mean, in the second article, some states, some colleges are just saying, hey, we're just going to go to online. So whatever happens, we have class, we have school, we can collect the tuition, and students can learn, their study's not interrupted, and they could just study from home. It's going to be online. So Cal State Fullerton announces plans for a virtual fall. Will other colleges follow? That was a few days ago in NPR, National Public Radio, by Elisa Nedorny, and that was April 21st, 2020. And it says, on Monday, California State University Fullerton announced it was planning to begin the fall 2020 semester online, making it one of the first colleges to disclose, to reveal contingency plans for prolonged coronavirus disruptions. Harvard University School of Public Policy, which is one of the best, if not best, public health school, said that we'll have to social distance until 2020, and they're predicting that we'll have a vaccine by 2020, which may not be the case. Do you want to see the little wing on the? Isn't that kind of neat that there's a little wing on the gown, graduation gown. But anyway, yeah. So yeah. So it's kind of it's a reality that I think high school students or you high school seniors will have to think about. I mean, if a miracle happens, if Jesus wants to, he could end this COVID tomorrow, but apparently Jesus doesn't want to do that. Miracles don't happen every day, right? Or they would not be called miracles. So, yeah. So most likely, at least the colleges in the top 5 to top 10 COVID-19 death states probably will not open their campuses. And that may happen throughout the country because it's a big risk to open the campus and then second wave hit and then they have to close the campus down because there's no vaccine, there's no cure. They're saying that people who had COVID-19 before are going to get it again. So even if you had COVID now, you can still get it and die in the fall 2020. So likelihood is that they will not open up. So most likely you will have 100% online. But Harvard education is worth it. You could, University of Pennsylvania education is definitely worth it. So definitely submit, your commitment to University of Pennsylvania if you got accepted. As you know, I'm the vice president of the Penn Club of DC, University of Pennsylvania Alumni Association of Washington, DC. So I want to plug Penn and every one of you who got accepted from Washington, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I hope you commit to University of Pennsylvania. I'm the vice president. And, I had great plans for you as the vice president of the University of Pennsylvania Club of Washington, DC, where Donald Trump is a member, Ivanka Trump is a member, and Tiffany Trump is a member. And other of Donald Trump's children who went to University of Pennsylvania are members, but they're in New York, so they're in Penn Club of New York members. But yeah, I had great plans for you. I was talking to our president, President Todd, about possibly doing something for students who got accepted, because I'm the treasurer of the UCLA network of Washington D.C., and we throw a picnic to every high school senior who get accepted to UCLA and who commits to going to UCLA. We have a big picnic like in July, and we invite like students who are going to go to UCLA for the fall with their parents, and we have a big, exciting event. Go to UCLA um, uh, Alumni Association of Washington D.C. You could Google it, Facebook page, and you can see a photo of me from the previous picnic. And all the excited high school students got in. To their joyful parents. I mean, yeah, go see the photos in the Facebook. It's open to everybody, so you could go and see it. UCLA Alumni Network of Washington D.C. Facebook. Yeah, and we even have this big event generally like in May or April for people who get accepted to UCLA. We have, last year, obviously I was there welcoming everybody, and it was at Marriott, like in Arlington, right across from Georgetown University, Key Bridge Marriott. And you can see photos of that too, UCLA Alumni Network of Washington D.C. Facebook page. Those are fun, those are fun. And I was looking forward to doing that again this year for UCLA. And I was going to spearhead as the vice president of vice president of University of Pennsylvania Club of DC. I was going to try to, kind of spearhead a program to do something like that for those who got accepted to University of Pennsylvania. But yes, all these plans were dashed by COVID, closing everything down in like March. So that may have to wait till next year. But yeah, but right now, I just want to kind of talk to you about being realistic. Obviously, put the deposit in for dormitory and dining hall, because for some miracle, Jesus ends COVID. Miracles do happen. It could happen. Then you could go on and have fun at Penn. 3 years at Penn were the best years of my life. I graduated 1 year early from Penn. As I shared with you, I'm the Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century. So I graduated from University of Pennsylvania in 3 years with credits that are 5 years worth. Yeah, so, and then I got accepted to UCLA for PhD in history when I was 19 years old. And then when I went to UCLA, when I stepped my foot onto the campus as a PhD student, I was 20 years old. Yes, I am the Leonardo da Vinci of 21st century. That's why you should watch this COVID update by Heerak religiously, because I give you insight that CNN, Fox News, New York Times, Washington Post, PBS, CBS, ABC, NBC, BBC, Sky News do not give. I give you these insights that's gonna save you from COVID, you and your family and your children, and also, help you thrive in the midst of COVID. So you gotta watch this show because I am the Leonardo da Vinci of the 21st century. There is no one like me. And so you're very fortunate that I created this show to help you and your family and your children. But yeah, just going back to colleges, I would recommend colleges to do what Cal State Fullerton is doing, maybe after students commit, because students committed May 1st, and then after that you could say whatever you want because they've already committed, right? So maybe wait until like fashionably, like second week of May, and or like third week of May, and say, due to coronavirus situation, we have decided to go 100% online. So all the commitments are in as of May 1st, and then you could just give them a direction. Yeah. Harry says that sounds like a good idea. So yeah, so that's what I recommend. I would say wait until about second week of May. You know, elite schools generally have to commit by May 1st. And the second week of May, you know, don't wait too long because you know everybody has to prepare, right? You know, issue an official statement saying we at Harvard University, we at the Ivy League University decided to care about your safety and health, and we want to prevent unnecessary unpleasantness, shall we say, COVID-19 death. So we have decided to have fall semester online. You get the same Harvard University, Ivy League University education, but online. You know, issue an official statement, you know, maybe a provost. Provost is the top academic officer, so generally provost issues statements like that, or the president can. President, you know, takes care of all the issues. Provost is the academic officer. That's what I would advise all the top schools to do, especially in top 5 to top 10 death states. And then you could say, if for some reason COVID-19 ends, then we may change our policy, but we are planning to have 100% online class. And then as soon as there's vaccine and cure, we will shift into on-campus education. So just, you know, just wait until everybody's committed by the deadline, May 1st, to issue an official statement. But I would advise all the elite universities in top 10 death states to do that. California, interestingly enough, doesn't have that many deaths. So maybe Stanford can open in the fall. I mean, who knows, right? But certainly the East Coast, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, that includes you, Princeton University, which is in top 5 COVID-19 death, you can't open in the fall. I mean, you know that, I know that, everyone knows that. So I think it's better for you to be responsible right now and just say we're going to do online learning because, you know, it's spreading all over your state. You can't contain it, you know. And I doubt that California will be able to contain it, and that's why Cal State University Fullerton has issued that policy, because you know things are going to get worse in California as well. You know, more and more people are going to get it. It's going to start spreading. You know, the thing about California is it's more spread out, so it may take time to spread. Whereas in the East Coast, you know, people are a little bit more crowded, so it's easier to spread. That may be why California is taking its time, but it's going to start spreading pretty soon. You know, pretty fast. So probably California colleges probably will not be able to have an on-campus college education either in the fall. But sorry, seniors, I know you wanted a college experience, but it's better to kind of know where you stand now. So you know what you need to do. I would recommend all those who got accepted to Ivy League University to commit to Ivy League, because you know even if you have to do 4 years of online education for Harvard or for University of Pennsylvania, your degree will go far because it's an Ivy League degree. I mean, why would you not want to commit? It doesn't make sense, right? So I would encourage you to commit. Obviously, you know, Harvard School of Public Health said social distancing until 2022, 2 years from now. They're hoping that vaccine will be developed. But if vaccine doesn't get developed for the next 4 years, it's possible you may have to do online education for the next 4 years. I know you're saying God forbid, but you know, reality is reality. You know, we have a lot of people dying, and more people will die tomorrow. More people will die after that. It's going to continue on and on. And then, as experts say, second waves are going to hit in the fall. And they say more people are going to die than in the first wave. Can you imagine how that's going to be? So it's better for us to be realistic about this. So sorry, guys. You know, hate to break this to you. I wish things were different, but that's where we are. So sorry to be such a downer about this, but you need to hear the reality, right? So they could consider what your options are. For class of 2020, those high school students who are graduating around the country, congratulations! You have done it! You are graduating! You're bound for college! Those of you I've interviewed for University of Pennsylvania, congratulations! You have done it, you're graduating! And some of you will be going to University of Pennsylvania and joining the Penn family. And all of you will have a wonderful future, I hope. So I would like to wish all of you congratulations, class of 2020. May you survive COVID and may you thrive.